Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and I have a question for you. Is Botania a magic mod, or is it a tech mod? Let me know down in the comments. Anyways, I hope you're ready for today's episode. So I've been a little bit busy, and yes, this is that memeable thing with people that make YouTube videos. I know, one episode later, and we have something going on here. But honestly, it's not that crazy. I want to kind of show off the mods. Building this, if you want to do the same thing, it's not very difficult. I mined out an area up here, place some logs, and then place some of these really cool things like the spruce seats as lampposts. And then up here, I have these spruce supports that are showing up. Nothing like fancy. I used a trowel to sort of decorate this, but as you can see, these are going to be animal pens. That's right. We are going to be diving into some more industrial foregoing stuff. So right here is the agriculture and husbandry part. And an animal rancher, I think, is something that we definitely need for wool, for one thing. Like, wool is definitely a thing. Also, leather. Now, I'm not going to probably use an animal rancher for the leather. We need to set up an entire system, I believe, for messing with cows. So, cows are going to have to be sort of done in a very particular way. And, well, that's going to be its entire segment, basically. So, as you can see, I'm sort of prepping for the episode today. And, yes, I'm going to need another advanced machine frame, so that means I need some more netherite. Ooh, this is a nice vein. Look at that. It's actually got another one behind it. How big is this vein? Is it 3? I don't know if I've ever seen one that big. Like a 3 vein? Is it? Do they come in 4 veins? I'd be surprised if there's another one behind it. No. Okay, good. Anyways, so yeah, we have 3 now. So as you can see, I've done a little bit of clearing here in the nether, just a tiny bit, just, you know, just a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna need this for, well, one of my favorite things that you can make, and that is a mob crusher. So instead of being a mob slaughter factory, where we slaughter the mobs and we don't get any drops from it, basically the only thing we get would be the pink slime and such. Well, with this, we can actually get the drops themselves, and also some experience. But experience in a different form. So with all that work, there is our mob crusher. Now, I have a few machines set up and ready to go. We have an animal rancher. That is going to be for sheep. You could use this for cows, technically, but we're not going to. I have a baby animal separator, and then I have a mob crusher. Now, I'm still missing one thing from industrial foregoing, and that is going to be the feeder. So we do have a animal feeder right here. It's going to require a gear, and I think I have everything for the animal feeder, except for the pitiful machine frame, which this whole thing has been pretty cheap. So I think that's just about ready to go. Now, we can go ahead and set this up. I am going to grab some cable, some power cable. Luckily, we should be able to use these basic universals. And yeah, I think 24 should be plenty. Now, I want to show you this, because up on this level, we have a little walkway that we can actually take. And this actually takes us right up here. So no need to just fly up here. I can actually walk up here if I want to, which is really nice. It was kind of a pain to kind of fit this into the mountain, because as you can see, it's not really in the greatest place in the world. Also, the top up here is going to get some trapdoors and things like that. But as you can see, we have this area nice and set up. Okay, so animal feeder. That is going to kind of go here. And this is going to be where our cows are located. So animal feeder, if I can get the location correct. There we go. Now, the baby separator, this is going to be a little bit different because I need it to basically detect the mobs over here, and I need them to send the babies, you know, later on. I needed to send the babies over here. And over here, once the babies become full grown, then they will be slaughtered. I know there are vanilla ways of doing a cow farm that would probably be a lot better than this, but hey, this works. I don't think there's a way to tell this, hey, or tell my mob crusher, hey, only kill adult mobs, because that's just not going to happen. Now, we still need to upgrade this because this animal feeder, well, if we show the range, it's only this block right here. It will only feed animals if both of them are standing right here. So we do need to make this expand, and to do that, we're going to use some range upgrades. So industrial foregoing range upgrades, they're not too difficult to make. Like some lapis, some redstone, a little bit of latex, and some glass panes. So I am going to need some upgrades for each one of these. And it shouldn't be a large one, just enough for a 5x5, which I think is the 2, the +2 on the range. Actually, +2 would probably be 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I think it is one. It's either the lapis or it's this one. But either way, I'll show you here in a minute when I figure out which one it is. Now, this right here says move babies, move adults. I don't want to really move adults. I definitely want to move babies. So the babies will be moved over here, or at least they should be. I don't know if this is turned the right way. I guess we'll find out which way they're turned. But I do need to turn this area into a grass area now that it is going to be set up for animals. Because I wasn't expecting to actually turn this area into an area for animals, but it is going to be at this point. So for all these, I've dug a hole. I'm just going to hook up some simple cables underneath to really power all these machines, except for this one. I'm going to leave the cable on this machine out for a moment, simply because I just don't want this to actually start killing anything on accident. Like all of our precious cows say this is not set up the proper way at first. Yeah, I don't want to lose on all the cows and then go have to find more, and well, you get what I'm saying. Now, the animal rancher, it's going to be just fine. It shouldn't pose any problem at all. See, when we connect that, it's ready to go. So the only thing we'd have to reconnect is this one. But animal rancher over here, now, you may be wondering, well, can't they jump over this? Yes, they definitely can. So we're going to need to put a slab over top of it. That is probably the best thing to do. So slab, and we can use a treated wood slab. That'll be fine. Now, an animal should not be able to get on top of the machine, as long as there's a slab on it. Same goes for all of these machines. I know a carpet will work. A carpet will allow them to walk over, I do believe, or jump over. But I also think some other things can do that as well. So right here, we have all these hooked in. They all have power now, or will have power here soon, because I am going to give them a point. Let me go ahead and hook a point up to this and connect it to our main network. There we go. Select our network. Bam, it is now hooked in and ready to go. So now they're all receiving powers, and this will technically start working immediately. These, however, they're going to need some food and things like that. So we're definitely going to need to be able to send things like wheat and give this to it. So at this point, as you can see, this is technically working. I did find the right one, and it's going to be the tier 2 like I thought it was. Now, as you can see, the baby kind of made his way out, which is nice, because that's exactly what I want. I know it's going the right way, but I am going to go ahead and turn this off and set this to run with redstone signal. At the moment, it is not, and I also need to place this guy back over here because I want to get this set up so that way it is going to max this farm out, so that way there are near the max amount of adult cows over here, so that way over here it will spit out, whenever it does breed, it'll spit out all of the main cows in which we can actually crush. Now, why do I need to kill cows? Well, leather is actually super useful in this pack. There's a lot of things that you can use leather for. Like, you see all these 16 different items? Yeah, a lot of things use leather. And so having your cows around, especially the books and stuff, is going to be a good thing. Like, look at this crazy thing. Like, you can make Ravenger hide. Like, what? Like, to make a backpack, this thing is ridiculous. So I'm looking at several different ways that I can kind of generate slime. Because, well, I could mine a giant hole in the ground, and I could go, you know, and explore elsewhere. I could do that. But how about I just add it to this? Like, why don't we just, like, add the farm? Like, I've already added industrial hemp here. Like, why not add cactus, right? This should work also with cactus. Now, I will need to add cactus to my my setup down the road, but hey, I can definitely fit some cactus in here, and it should work no problem. Like, I'm thinking about maybe this section right back here, focusing it on this. Now, we have plenty of sugarcane at this point. Like, I have so much sugarcane, I don't know what to do with it. And we're about to have so much cactus that I'm not going to know what to do with it. But is it really going to be so much that I'm not going to know what to do with it? Well, that may differ because, well, once we get into Botania, we can turn all of this cactus into slime. So, with that knowledge, like, I might as well go ahead and get this all set up with some cactus. So when we get into Britannia later on, it'll be so much easier to generate some of these resources. So if I was to get into a little bit of Botania today, just a little bit, it shouldn't be too difficult. But we are missing one component, and that is bone. But luckily for us, the nether is practically filled with bone to the brim. Like, there's so much bone in the nether. Like, we should have no problem, especially in the biome that we're in. Like, I guarantee you, as soon as we walk out here, we're going to find a bone structure. Yep, there's a bone structure. There's a bone. Let's just say bone meal is not the hardest thing to come by. It's literally everywhere. Like, and this is just free bone. With all this bone, we can definitely get started. Now, we also have the poppies, and this is where the poppies are actually going to come in handy with modded here. We can just go ahead and make a bunch of floral fertilizer. Perfect, that should be plenty. Let's go ahead and also, if we can, I think we can make a bag, a flower bag. And this is just I always use this because it's just super helpful. It looks like we need some wool, which of course we can make. Should be able to make any variant of wool. Kind of a pain that it only shows up. I wish it would just show white wool. I wish it would just default to like white wool. Let's see, wool, and we have this. I can go ahead and make some string. Okay, hopefully that's enough. Britannia and flower bag. All of this for some flower bag. Okay, so we do have this now. I just need to make a petal of any kind. If I have a petal. There we go. Now, we should be able to make this. Flower bag. Perfect. Okay, so with all of this, all we gotta do is just start placing this around. Like anywhere that's like kind of clear. So like here, I can just go ahead and start placing this down. Collecting all my flowers. They should technically go in the flower bag. And I can just place this all around. This will probably, like if we place all of it, it's going to fill up quickly. And there we go. This technically should house... Oops, I accidentally punched that thing. This should house every flower. We should have every flower that we need here. And then I get to show you a nice duplication method that I love using now every time we have Botania. But it is going to take a bit of bone meal. So, like I said, you can always farm bones in the nether. So if you run out of bones, I recommend going to the nether and just farming a couple. So let me do my best to explain how to set this bad boy up. So what we're going to make is a Britannia flower duplicator. And it's definitely not very hard to set up. All we need is a couple of dispensers, an observer, and a little bit of redstone. And it is super, super simple. I'm not kidding. Like, we run this in the back, run our redstone to the side, and this is basically it. Like, this right here is all you need. And we have a flower duplicator. Now, what you need to do is put your bone meal in one of them and put your petals in the other, like actual petals. And then you're going to need a petal to get it jump started. So just one petal, place the petal, and you're going to see that that happens. Now, all you got to do is have your shears and just hold your shears like this. And that's literally all you have to do. It's that simple. Like, and then as soon as you have your tall variants, those then are duplicated and you can start placing them again. It is that simple. It's you can make it faster, but this right here works just fine for me. Of course, there are faster methods. But if you want simplicity, this is about as simple as it's going to get. Actually, you know what? If you want this even smaller, this right here should technically work as well. Like, I don't know why I had it extended out so far when I could just hook into the back here, and that definitely should work as well. Like, there's nothing preventing this from working. I do need a lot of the white flower, so I guess we can go ahead and jump start that. We'll put one in our hand, place it down. That should get it to start working. And then we just go at it. That's all we have to do. It's that simple. So I'm going to kind of tippy-toe myself into Botania. And, well, first things first, we need to get ourselves a petal apothecary. I have no idea why I stumbled on that. We're also need a few white petals and a bucket, maybe 2 buckets. And then we're also going to need ourselves some seeds. Basic Botania, getting into it. I don't know. I don't know. Like, these mods right here, like, I've done them so much that me describing how they work, I almost like, I want to say go back and reference other videos, but of course you can't. I can't say that. Let me go ahead and get some slabs, by the way. Let's see, slabs. I love that we can actually waterlog slabs now. So like, if I have a setup like this, technically this is an infinite water source, right? Like if I fill this with water here, like that's an infinite water source, right? I guess we're going to find out. Let me go ahead and pull from this. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've covered these mods so much, but like there's such a necessity in packs like these that I definitely want to get in them and definitely explain things. So I don't know. I'm going to try my best. Let's see. Did this work? Can I pull water out of here? Yes. So you can't even tell if there's water here, really. I mean, other than the fact that it's kind of a slab out in the middle of nowhere. Anyways, I want to drop 4 of these in here. That is going to create a pure daisy. Pretty much the main part of this mod. That is going to work with everything. And then you can see right here, it's saying right click with an empty hand. So we can do that. It's automatically going to fill with the item that we had. And it's pretty convenient. Like I like that feature, especially when you're crafting a lot of things. Like, for example, like if you're crafting tons of Endo Flames, which we're eventually going to make. So now that I have the pure daisy, I mean, we can go ahead and find a place to set this up. I think I'm going to clear out these trees because this is probably going to end up becoming our Britannia area. Like, I have a feeling that that's going to happen. We're going to get out our very beautiful buzzsaw. Swap out our blade. There we go. And, well, me actually harvest the tree properly without holding shift. So it can chop the whole tree down. Very nice. Isn't that just a sight to see? So with the pure daisies, all you got to do is set up some stone and wood around them and put them to work. These guys are going to convert this into 2 of the most important materials in Botania itself. And that is the living rock and living wood. Now, while those are working, I guess we can go ahead and start making some Endo Flames. I'm going to make about 6 of them to get started. I think that is going to be plenty early on. And then we can start using these guys. Like, we can probably set up a small little setup for them and create a dropper system that is pretty much automated for this little setup that we're going to have just to generate a teensy little bit of mana. So I now have myself 6 Endo Flames, and that is going to be perfect. Now all we need is a mana spreader, and well, as you can see, we're going to have to spend some time harvesting this. The wood actually is probably the most time-consuming thing to mine up. If I had an axe with like efficiency, maybe it'll be a bit better. I don't know, like maybe this is gonna... No, that's super slow. Regular saw blade, I mean, it's all right. It's probably about as fast as an iron or diamond. It's not really meant for this. I wish it did like a 3x3, but nope, it's just normal. So we're gonna need ourselves a mana pool. Let's go ahead and make that. I'm also gonna need some nice living wood twigs. And we're going to take that and just go ahead and make ourselves a beautiful, let's see, red and brown. I think that should work. Wand of the Forest. This is like the tool that we're going to use. Like every mod has its own like wrench. And this is like this mod's wrench. I always say this, and I did a poll a while back and asked you guys if Botania was a magic mod or a tech mod. And for some reason, you guys all thought it was a magic mod, which you guys are absolutely wrong, because this mod is a tech mod, 100%. And you're about to find out why. Basically, you feed Endo Flames coal, and that in return generates mana. Well, mana can also be converted into power. So technically, you're taking coal fuel or burnable source, and you're turning it into mana, which in return is going to generate power. To me, that screams tech. Of course, there are so many other things in here that do tech. Basically, think of mana as RF, and you have this entire mod that is a tech mod, even though it does have magical aspects. And a lot of times people will say this mod is a tech mod disguised as a magic mod. And 100% it is. It definitely is. I love this little guy, by the way, because this little guy can make it rain, I believe, or make it stop raining. It's, yeah, I think, yeah, it makes it stop raining. Definitely a reference here. There's a lot of, like, anime references in this mod. Also references to Terraria, but there are definitely references here to a lot of stuff. And this also has the add-on. I have played around with this add-on a little bit. This right here. It is pretty difficult to get to this gear, but somebody asked me what's the best gear in this pack, and it's probably going to be this gear right here. This is probably going to be some of the best. Plus 10 knockback resistance. That's insane knockback resistance right there coming out of this mod. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and get this set up. So basically, what I'm going to need is I'm going to be converting this into some planks, and I believe the planks can be converted into a open crate. I'm also going to need a hopper, and this hopper is going to be redstone controlled. And then we're going to have a pressure plate. And this is how I set this up all the time. Like, if I'm setting up a Botania setup, it's going to look like how I'm about to set this up. We're going to get some redstone and some blocks or slabs. Some of these slabs should work. Okay, and we also need a mana spreader. Let's see, that should show up right in here. Here's a mana spreader. Require a piece of gold, and that's pretty much all you need. So, with all of these things in our hands, we should be able to set something up that gets mana started. Like, it'll definitely be some nice early mana that will allow us to get somewhere in this mod. So let's go ahead and set this up. We have our mana spreader, which can go, how about we set it right here in the center of this? So we put a mana spreader, actually, move this mana spreader real quick. Let's put it a few blocks away from these. Let's put it here, for example. Now, I need to go ahead and place my Endo Flames behind it. These will actually automatically detect where the mana spreader is and go, okay, let's go ahead and connect to those. You can see that these are currently, this will actually highlight it when you look at it. It'll highlight what this is connected to. I'll go, okay, it's connected. Now, I'm going to place a mana pool. We can place it right in front of it if we want to, or we can even place it several blocks away. There is a range, though, that this will start to taper off. And if you were to let this beam out, you would actually see that range. But I'm going to place it right here. And then I'm going to hold Shift, click this, and then hold Shift and click this. And that is going to link these two blocks together. You can see we now have a mana pool that is going to be getting some resources. Okay, so I want to feed these Endo Flames. I'm going to go ahead and break these, by the way. I'm going to place these somewhere else later on. But we need to automatically feed these Endo Flames. So, in order to do that, I am going to set a pressure plate on this block. Like that. On top of that, I'm going to place an open crate. This open crate drops items. So, if we have a hopper placed on top and we place items in it, those items are going to be dropped directly below this. So, this little setup is what we're going to need in order to get this nice and going. So what we should be able to do, let's see, I think if we get close to our range here, don't know if we can, I want to try and simplify this redstone setup over here, because I normally use the same redstone setup all the time. Does this send a redstone signal through this block? So it does not. So what I normally do is I set up a thing like this. So the redstone signal will come out here. Then it will go into a block. So that should definitely fire this block like that. There you go. And then we can set up this like that. Redstone should go up here. And I think that shuts that hopper off, right? Let's see if this setup works. Yes. So this setup does work. This is actually probably the smallest setup that you can use. Sometimes I go bigger than this. There's so many different ways you can do redstone. It's kind of ridiculous, but this right here should work. Now, the good thing, these actually run off of blaze rods, or it can run off of blaze rods. They also can work off of coal and wood, but they can also run off of blaze rods. And you know what we have a lot of? Blaze rods. Now, I wouldn't feed it the blaze. I guess you could feed it the blaze block. That will make it probably run the longest, is by feeding it the blaze block. As you can see, it will take it. It's going to power one at a time with the blaze block, but this should last the longest as far as Endo Flame burn time goes. That setup right there, 100% automatic and ready to go. Absolutely love this setup. And it's actually smaller than I usually make it. So with the tiny, eensy, bitsy bit of mana that we have, let's go ahead and convert ourselves a mana pearl. Now, Britannia, even with this super small setup, has some really useful functions. We can use this mana pearl to make ourselves an Alchemy Catalyst. And normally I don't make these right away, but I think this is probably one of the best things to get early on and get this placed in here. Now, I think I'm going to go with a sticky piston. This will actually work. A sticky piston will definitely work for this and should work fine. Let's see. What is the snail slime, by the way? I guess you can get that from some snails. Anyways, sticky piston. And then I'm going to grab a lever and just set this up real quick. This should take no time at all to build. What we're going to do is have an empty block underneath here. Alchemy Catalyst, of course, is going to go here. And then we can go ahead and place our sticky piston here with a lever. And whenever we want to use this as an alchemy mana pool, we place this in. And whenever we don't want it as an alchemy mana pool, we can pull it out. So this is a nice way to sort of set this up if you want to kind of go back and forth. Now, what are we going to do with this? Like, what can we do with this? Well, remember all of that. Hopefully we have some at this point. Let's see. Do we have any cactus now? Oh, that's right. It would probably be built up in this chest because it has nowhere to go, right? Because we never set up a container for it. So we should have cactus technically in here. Well, of course we have this in here, which I do still need to figure out something for that. Okay, so let's check this out. Is this just not harvesting? Weird. Interesting that it's not harvesting this. I wonder if this requires the saw. Wonder what harvest this. That's actually kind of interesting. But anyways, we will figure out what can harvest this because I wish that's how it worked. But of course, as you can see, it doesn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over here. And this Alchemy Catalyst is going to allow us to turn these into slime balls. Yes. And how nice is that? Turning cactus into slime ball with a little bit of mana and some free power that we have. Definitely worth it, I think. By the way, just to check if the saws actually work for the cactus. Yes, 100%. And this might actually become, instead of a tree farm, well, actually, I want to keep it as a tree farm, but there are better ways of doing tree farms. I don't know, like, this might actually become our cactus farm. Well, guys, we're back on sponsorship, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, of course. Man, we have a lot of work ahead of us, but I am really, really having fun, so I hope you guys are enjoying the ride with me. Of course, it seems like every mod pack we do, there's always a different journey that we go through. No matter if it's the same mods or not, there's still always something different about the pack, or at least maybe that's just me and I try to do different things. I have no idea. But anyways, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video. That is Nothing Different. Of course, I want to get that in and say a huge thanks, if I can spell thanks like I always struggle with. Rachel Jordan, thank you so much for your amazing support over on the Patreon. I really do appreciate you. You are absolutely amazing. And guys, if you want to be amazing, just like Rachel there, be sure to check out the Patreon link down in the description below. Guys, I would really appreciate it. It does help out the channel tremendously, and I'd really appreciate it. And guys, if you want to support the channel in other ways, clicking that subscribe button is also another great way to do so, and giving this video a thumbs up, maybe commenting down below, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. If you enjoyed the video, you know what? Just enjoy it. I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.